When you think about animation, your mind probably goes straight to Adobe After Effects or some other heavy software, right? But are those really easy and free to use? The honest answer? Absolutely not. They come with a steep learning curve and definitely require some serious skills. But what if you could create professional quality animations using just the mobile or PC version of Capcut for free? That would be pretty amazing, right? So today, let us walk you through some simple tips and tricks to help you do just that. Make sure to watch the entire video with full focus, because we're breaking it all down in a way that's easy to understand. Alright, so first things first. Open up Capcut and start a new project. You can use the mobile version or the desktop version. It works on both, but today we're using the desktop version for better control and a bigger view. Now drag and drop your assets into the timeline. For our demo, we're using a black and white background image and two logos, Instagram and TikTok. You can use any two images you like, even your own brand logos. The idea is to animate them in a way that feels polished and dynamic. Start by importing the background image. Drop it into the timeline as your base. We're giving it a clean and subtle look, so go ahead and lower the saturation until it's almost black and white. That gives your logos more pop when they animate in. Once that's set, let's add the Instagram logo. Drag it right into the timeline above the background layer. Now select the logo, then go to the transform options. Scale it down, we set ours to 50%, and center it in the middle of the screen. This gives us a clean start before we animate. Here's where they start to get fun. Place your playhead about 25 frames forward. Then create a keyframe under the Transform tab. This marks the final position of the logo. Now scroll back to the start of the clip and move the logo off the screen, just below the bottom edge. Add a slight rotation, something like -22 degrees. What this does is gives the logo a kind of rise and spin effect when it comes into view. Hit play, and you'll see the logo rising up with that little twist. It already looks more alive than just fading in. But we're not done yet. Right-click the logo layer and choose Show Keyframe Animation. Open up the graph editor, and you'll see those keyframes on the Y-axis and rotation. Select both Y-axis points, click the graph icon, and choose the cubic out option. This makes the animation start quickly, then slow down right before it lands, which gives a smooth, natural feeling. Do the same with the rotation curve. Apply cubic out here too. Now when you play it back, the Instagram logo rises and settles in so smoothly, it actually feels like something you'd see in a high-end brand video. Now one more cool touch. Right-click the layer and choose Create Compound Clip. Then go over to your effects and apply the rebound swing effect. Adjust the size to about 18 and the speed to 13. This gives the logo a tiny bit of bounce after it settles in. Nothing too dramatic, just enough to add that polish. Okay, now that our Instagram logo is in place, we're going to animate it leaving the screen. This gives us space to bring in the second logo, so the two logos feel like they're connected. Move the playhead to around the 2-second mark and add a new keyframe in the transform section. Then go about 10 frames forward. Now move the logo up and off the screen and rotate it a little, let's say -10 degrees. Just enough to give it that motion look. Once again, right-click the layer, show keyframe animation, and open the graph editor. This time, apply cubic in to the Y-axis and rotation. Cubic in makes the logo start slow and speed up as it leaves the screen, kind of like it's being pulled away. Trim the layer after it exits, so we don't have anything extra hanging around. Now the Instagram logo rises, rests, and then floats away. Smooth, clean, and stylish. Here comes the TikTok logo. Drop it into the timeline right after the Instagram logo disappears. Scale it down to 50% just like we did before. Place it underneath the Instagram logo layer to make sure the transition happens in order. Now, go to the frame where the Instagram logo fully exits. That's where you'll add your first keyframe for the TikTok logo. Reduce the scale to almost 0 and rotate it to about 65 degrees. What we're doing here is making it look like it pops into place with a bit of spin. Once again, open the graph editor, and this time, we'll add a bounce effect. Select the scale and rotation keyframes and choose Rebound Out from the options. This gives it that snappy bounce when it lands, which adds personality without needing extra layers. Adjust the timing by nudging the second keyframe forward just a bit, so the bounce happens a little after it appears. Now, create a compound clip for this layer too. Go back to Effects and apply the Rebound Swing effect again. Lower the size and speed just slightly so the bounce is more controlled. Around the 4-second mark, drop a new keyframe, then about 15 frames ahead, move the logo to the left. That gives us a slide-out effect. But here's the trick. Open the graph editor and apply a cubic out curve just to the x-axis, because we're only shifting it sideways, not up or down. Now the TikTok logo slides left, and this makes space for something else. Maybe text, maybe an arrow, whatever fits your style. Now let's put something in the middle. Go to the text tool, add a new text layer, and type a few dashes followed by a greater than symbol. For example, that's your arrow. Pick a font that's bold but simple and scale it down so it doesn't dominate the screen. Place it right in the middle. Trim the text layer so it only appears during the transition moment. Then go into the In-Animation options and choose View Right. This makes the text slide in from the left side, which fits the motion of everything else. You can change the text color to match your brand or the logo colors. Then, apply a glow effect. Yes, this one is free in Capcut. Tweak the settings a bit so it stands out just enough without overpowering the logos. Play it back now. The Instagram logo pops in, bounces, exits. TikTok pops in, bounces, slides out. The text arrow connects both. Suddenly, it all feels like a connected animated story instead of separate pieces. That's the full sequence. You just made a clean logo-to-logo animation that looks sharp, professional, and 100% free. What's awesome about this is how flexible it is. You can swap the logos with anything. YouTube to Spotify, one company to another, or even your own logo transforming into your signature or a product image. The structure stays the same, and once you know how to build with keyframes, curves, and effects, you're in full control. Now we know what you might be thinking. Why go through all these steps in Capcut when apps like After Effects exist? The answer is simple. We didn't always have access to fancy tools. And when we started out, Capcut was the most available and the easiest to learn. It gave us a way to build skills from the ground up. We know that not every trick works for everyone, and not every effect fits every project. But this one helped us level up our animation game without paying anything, and we think that's worth sharing. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and if this tutorial helped even a little, let us know in the comments. We're always here to answer questions, and yeah, we're dropping more Capcut tricks soon. Till next time, stay tuned.